Hello and welcome to Conversations with Grandma Polly. How are you all doing today? I hope you guys had a great week. We're going to go into the show, but before we do, did you know a big part of why I created the Big Rig Kids was to bring families and people together, as well as promoting unity across races, creed, cultures, and color. Tonight, I will introduce you to a few of my friends who belong to our writers group, Writers in the Spirit. Their writing and self publishing experiences include writing and self publishing at least one book from several different genres. You guys hold on to that thought and we'll be right back.
Here come the Big Rig Kids, y'all. Are you ready? Let's go. Here come the Big Rig Kids. Roll with the Big Rig Kids. Let's have fire the truck, take you to such amazing places with the Big Rig Kids. Those helpful Big Rig Kids. See how they give and grow and get to know amazing things. Learn with the Big Rig Kids, and you'll see how it is to have adventure days and hang and play with all your friends. Because the Big Rig Kids know what it is to live a most exciting and inviting life is positive.
Hello. I want to thank the audience for joining us tonight. And in the process of doing this, y'all hit that like button, share that sure button, because we have some interesting friends here tonight who are entrepreneurs and they've done some awesome things. And we have a few giveaways tonight also. So before we go any farther, you guys, please help me welcome Miss Cheryl Haynes. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Welcome to Conversation with Grandma Polly. Tell
Thank
us a little
you.
bit about yourself.
Well, thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, Grandma Polly and the Big Rig Kids family, for allowing me to be here with you today. I really like the Big Rig Kids. The children that I foster love reading your books, so I'm honored to be here with you today. So my name is Cheryl, and I wear two hats. One hat that I wear is that of a proofreader, where I read words, and the other hat is that of an author, where I write words. And so I am from Raleigh, North Carolina. I live in that area, and I'm a foster parent, and I love reading and writing. I've also taught school before, and one of the things I want to talk to you about first is about proofreading. If you have done any type of writing that you publish, and what I mean by publish is it goes out in an email, it goes out in a newsletter, you send it in a written letter, whatever you send out for someone else to read probably needs to be proofread. A lot of times people think because they are good writers or good spellers or good readers that they don't need their work to be proofread. Well, proofreading is a step you don't want to skip. So that's one of the things I do that I could definitely share more about. And then also I'm an author, and my book is called When We Worship: A Practical Guide on How to Worship God at Home.
Awesome. I mean, it is great. And I know, Cheryl, being a part of the Writers in the Spirit group, you have proofed several people's book.
Yes.
And, we learn so much from this group, just connecting together. And that's one of the things you preach the most. You be like, proof. That's the most important step
Right.
when it comes down to writing.
Absolutely.
So, with that, we appreciate all that you do and your book. How can we find your book? Where can we get it?
Well, yes, you can find it on Amazon.com, and I want you to please look for the second edition, which is there on the screen, because that is the most recent edition. Or you can contact me at Cheryl Haynes 61. It's there on the screen, or at the phone number on the screen. Or reach out to me on my Facebook page at When We Worship on Facebook, or Cheryl Anderson Haynes on Facebook.
So, if someone is writing a book and they need you, and they need proofing, they can hire you through any one of those outlets.
Absolutely. They can reach me through any one of those outlets. Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's great to know. And I just want you to know, Cheryl, I appreciate you again for being a part of our wonderful group, Writers in the Spirit. Now, before
Thank
we
you.
let you go, what's the final thing you would like to say to people before we give away one of your books?
Well, one thing I would like to say is that if you are publishing anything, I want to emphasize that please do not skip the proofreading and or editing phase. And what's the difference? A proofreader, and I do both. Proofreading is when someone looks for the grammatical errors, the sentence structure, um, punctuation, things like that. Whereas an editor does that, plus they're looking at the content, they're looking at the flow of the words. They can actually suggest word changes, chapter reorganizations, and things like that. So I do both of those, and at the very least, I would hope that people would get their works proofread. There, can I, if I may, Grandma Polly, I want to tell just a few benefits of why it's so important to get our work
Okay.
proofread. Is that okay? So one of the reasons it's beneficial to get your work proofread is that it could increase your sales and earnings potential. If you have a website, for instance, and you put it together and you've done a great book or a great product and you've put that website together and it looks pretty, but there are all sorts of errors on that website, it's going to turn some people off. It may not turn everybody off, but it would definitely turn me off. And there are other people that would turn off because they would feel like if you don't care enough to get your work professionally done, maybe your product is not as professional as well. Another benefit of proofreading, having your work proofread, is it could cause your grades to be better, whether you are in grad school or grade school. I have several people whose dissertations, who are working on their PhDs, dissertations that I've read, and they've told me that just because I proofread their work, they know it improved their chances of getting their PhD. Also, another benefit of getting your work proofread is that it could increase your chances of getting into a university or getting the job that you want. If that resume is sloppy, if it doesn't read well, it has all these errors in it, then it's going to turn off the hiring agent. Same thing for an application for school. Another benefit of getting your work proofread is that it could actually save you money and it could actually save lives. There have been documented accounts of companies that have had to pay out millions of dollars because of one word or one punctuation that they had in the wrong place that changed the entire meaning of what they were trying to say. Here's a great example. You all may have heard it before. Here's an example of where just a comma can change the meaning of what you intend. So think of this. You may want to write it down, or maybe you can visualize it. I'm going to give you two sentences. One says, woman, comma, without her man, comma, is nothing. Woman, comma, without her man is nothing. The second sentence is this, same words. Woman, comma, without her man is nothing. Woman, comma, without her man is nothing. The first one, woman, comma, without her man, comma, is nothing, indicates that a woman without her man is nothing. The second one, woman, comma, without her man is nothing, indicates that a man without his woman is nothing. So as you can see, those are two totally opposite intentions. And so where you place the comma, what kind of punctuation you have in your book can make a world of difference. I actually earned a discount on a t-shirt one time when I went whitewater rafting, the one and only time I went whitewater rafting, I might add. I went to the shop, a souvenir shop, and there was a T-shirt in there. And on the back of the T-shirt, it said something about I got this souvenir at the Nantahala River, whatever, Whitewater Rafting Center. And the word souvenir, I
Uh-huh.
noticed it right away because I've been proofreading for decades. That was my career for 20 some years. And I noticed right away that the word souvenir was misspelled. So I went to the young people at the front and I said, hey, this word souvenir is misspelled. Do you think I could get this t-shirt for free? And they sort of doubted that I was telling the truth and they had to look it up and they finally saw that I was correct. But well, I said, well, can I talk to a manager? Is a manager here? Well, finally they decided, let's give her a discount. So I got a benefit of a discounted t-shirt because the word souvenir was misspelled and I recognize it. And the last benefit I want to mention
Okay.
is that Getting Works proofread could literally save face. It could save you from being embarrassed. It could save a life. Well, whereas if a doctor wrote something in his chart and there's a misspelling, it could write there could be two different medications that are very similar, but one is spelled slightly different. So getting your work proofread is very beneficial. And also, I want to say, please check out my book, When We Worship, on Amazon. Contact me. If you get it on Amazon, leave me a review, and I look forward to hearing from any of you and all of you.
Okay. Okay, Cheryl. Now we're going to give them, keep it 60 seconds. Whoever can answer this question correctly first will receive one of Cheryl's book. And the question is, what's the name of Grandma in the BRK book series? Everybody should know that answer. The first person who could answer that will receive one of Cheryl's books. And while we're waiting on that answer, Cheryl, we just thank you for coming in. We appreciate you being here. And we're going to move on to our next guest, John Sykes. And
Wayne
Kenny, did
Cooper.
someone answer yet?
Yes, Wayne
Wayne.
Cooper. Mhm.
Okay, congratulations, Wayne. Cheryl, we're going to get Wayne's address and you can get that book to him. Wayne, please inbox Cheryl your address as we move on to John Sykes. And Cheryl, we just thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, well, congratulations, Wayne. That was awesome. We will make sure Cheryl gets that book to you. And like I said before, y'all help us welcome our next guest, Mr. John Sykes. Hey, John, and welcome. You guys help me welcome another one of my big supporter. And we're all, like I said, a part of this WITS group. And we learn, we feed off of, we support all these things. And I'm going to have John introduce himself to you because John writes from a different genre from Cheryl Hayes, myself. And John, just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your genre, a little bit about your book, and you got the flow right now.
All right. Well, great to be here, Grandma Polly, and
We're
hi
glad to
everybody at the
have
Big
you.
Rig Kids. Yeah, I've had been in publishing now for about 25 years. Started with a newsletter, and eventually we started getting into book publishing. And what we do is we publish books for coaches and athletes. We really are trying to help them achieve their athletic dreams through motivational stories, leadership techniques, team building, psychology, and we're just helping them to take their performance to the next level. That's the whole goal of all the books we read. If you're a coach or an athlete, you read our books, you want to get better at your craft. So, but first, I wanted a couple of books I wanted to share with everybody. I wanted to thank Cheryl because she proofed our latest book. She did a wonderful job. And yeah, round of applause. It's called Coaching Women Athletes to Excellence. And it's off to a really good start. We sold a lot just this week. And
Okay,
so that was awesome. And this book is our all-time bestseller. It's called Read This Book Tonight to help
okay,
you win tomorrow. So this is a
okay.
motivational book for athletes. It's got quotes and stories. I mean, if you read this, you will be pumped up for your next game for sure. And
Awesome.
yeah, and I one last one. This is you see the football game plan for leadership. We also have the basketball coach's game plan for leadership. And
Okay.
these are like interviews with some of the greatest coaches of all time talking about, what they did to run successful programs. So, what we're really about is coaching education and just helping people, achieve their highest level of performance.
That is awesome, John. And I want to say to you parents out there, you know, it's not just for the young people. It could be a family type thing that you read with your children, especially if you have kids out there in high school and college who are in the sports. It's something that can help you grow. John, where can we find those books?
Okay, so if you want to get them on our website, the easiest thing to do is Google the search term championship performance. Our website, our company will come right up, or you can get them on Amazon too. So they're available
Okay.
all channels. Not too many in bookstores yet, but we're working on that.
Okay, and congratulations. Congratulations on your new release also.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
So good to be here, and I wish everybody a happy holiday, Merry Christmas.
all right, and we're glad to have you. And John, now we're going to give away one of your books tonight. Which book are you giving away? Because we're going to ask a question that someone out there has to answer to win.
Okay, we'll give away this one. Read the book tonight to help you win tomorrow. That's our all-time best.
Okay.
So we'll give that one away to whatever trivia question you got.
Okay, and Wayne, do not answer this
No, it's not
question.
Wayne can't answer. No.
No, Wayne, you cannot answer this question. Everybody can win only one time tonight.
Right, right.
So the question is, what's the name of Sasha's twin brother from the Big Rig Kid book series? I know somebody out there know that. So while we're waiting on that, John, I'm going to give you that 60 seconds to tie it up, and I just thank you for being here.
Okay. Well, it's been a real pleasure to be on tonight, and I love publishing books that help people achieve their athletic dreams. And it's just been a blessing to be around for over 25 years doing this. So I thank everybody in the past that's ever bought a book from us. And I look forward to many years to come.
All right, all right, all right. And I just appreciate you so much for being, we're all a part of this Wits family. And I wanted to bring my Wits family on tonight. And I appreciate you for taking a few minutes out, to join us and tell us a little bit about your books and your business. And I thank you, and you have a happy holiday season. And our next guest we're going to bring in is Carla Hutchinson. But Kenny, did anyone win that trivia question?
Let's check that out.
Nobody got it yet?
Yes, Latanya Myers.
Okay. All right, Tanya, you got the book. We will get your mailing address. If you go in there and click on John Sykes' name on Facebook and put message him your address, and if not, I will get your address and get it to him. Y'all, let's congratulate Tanya again. Thank you, John, once more. And now we're going to bring in Miss Carla.
It's Carla.
Yes, Miss
Just one
Carla
second.
Hutchinson. Okay,
Hi,
there
how
she
are you?
go. Hi, Carla, and welcome. This is another one of our wit sisters, Writers in the Spirit. Carla has not quite completed her book yet, but I'm going to let Carla to introduce herself and tell us a little bit of what she has going on. And stick around because we have a trivia question from her also.
Thank you, Renee. It's a pleasure. I'm Carla Hutchison. I reside in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am an ordained minister. However, I don't preach at a church. I'm a public speaker, and I'm also a clinical therapist. That's my part-time job. And writing,
Okay.
I am published. Will be publishing my book mid-May of 2023, and it's called A Daughter's Inheritance.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, throughout the Bible, there are 700 women mentioned in the Bible. Some named, some unnamed, and we see inheritance given, squandered, received, granted, taken away. You know, God does what He wants to do. So, in a daughter's inheritance, I'm aiming to see the daughters in this earth right now to see themselves in the Bible and glean for the continual building of God's kingdom in the earth.
Mm.
Okay. And that comes out, you say, in May?
Yes, May of 2023.
Okay, May
Mhm.
of 2023. That book will
Yes.
be out. So you guys keep Miss Carla Hutchison and thoughts with that because when it comes out, she's gonna need your support. Carla is a big part of our Wits family also. And you guys notice I keep mentioning wits and writers in the spirit. And I keep putting it out there because there are so many people who have a book in them. And, with that, a lot of people are afraid to get started. They don't know how to get started. And we've all been there. We all had to start somewhere. And see, like the other folks that was on here, their projects have been completed. But Carla's stepping out on hers and she's making it do what it do. So I'm saying to you guys, don't be afraid. If it's in you and you have that desire, do it. Find you a group of like-minded people who are doing the things that you want to do. And all of us write from different genres. John has the sports stuff. Carla one comes from a Christian standpoint. Cheryl, Cheryl one, comes a little bit under that too. And John one is motivational. So it still shows how we all could work together because we may be telling different stories, but the process is the same. So, Ms. Carla, is there anything that you would like to tell the people? Anything that you would like to leave with them? And while you're doing that, the giveaway from Carla Hutchison is a $5 gift card. And we're going to make this one easy. Give a number between 1 and 30. And the first person to type that number in that I have here will receive a $5 gift card. So, Ms. Carla, you want to come on? You want to go on with your final statement?
Yes. Thank you, Renee. In A Daughter's Inheritance, we have like the keys that we shouldn't apologize for hell wasting time coming after us. I just tell people that all the time because we are worth it. Demons can't destroy us. Jesus has already paid the price. So he told us to just move on and let's go get it. We inherited the keys alongside Jesus. He's already told us that we would do greater works. So this is a part of my greater works. So I'm just saying to my sisters out there, it's our purpose. We are beautifully and wonderfully made. It's possible. We have a promise. And I had a pastor tell me one time at a conference, get grateful. Know your assets and not your liabilities because you can't have a pity party and be a praiser. So he said that we are not a loss, we are a lesson. So a daughter's inheritance is aiming for women to see themselves as God sees us and to look at the lives of the women that have come before us to know that they made it. We can make it. We're still making it. And it's just time to go in God and trust what He says because He formed us, He gave it to us, and we just have dominion over it.
Okay, well, thank you, Carla. We appreciate you joining us tonight, Kenny. You have a copy of that runner show. Did anybody put number 19 in there?
Yes, Latanya Myers.
Tanya can't win but one time.
Oh boy.
Anybody else put 19 in there after her
Nope.
or close to 19
she
without
was
going over?
she was the first and only one. Carol Simmons did 18. Jackie Singleton 17.
Okay, we gonna give it to Jackie because Carol can't win no more until 2025.
Carol Simmons. Oh boy.
Jackie's gonna get that $5 card. Carol, I win too. I told Carol, I win too many times this year, so she disqualified too. Jackie, you're going to get the $5 card, and we're going to thank you again for joining us, Carla, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and see you in Wit. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Same to you. Now, at this moment, we're going to take a second to thank the audience and our sponsors because we could not do this without you guys. And Carol and Jackie and Tanya and Lena and all of y'all, we appreciate y'all. And if I miss anybody's name, you know what? Charge it to me head and not my heart. We want to thank Simone Enterprise and Entertainment Company. We want to appreciate KJ Multimedia Solutions, TNT Real Estate for being our sponsors. I want to shout out my manager, Felicia Simone, my brother, Kenneth Thompson, because without them, this would be much harder than what we're doing. And we just appreciate the audience even more because without y'all, there is no us. And now we're going to get back to the show. We're going to bring in Mr. Vince Morrow. Mr. Vince is a friend of ours also. He's a part of that WITS family. And Vince has written an interesting book. And his book is about him growing up. And you know what, Vince? I want you to tell us who you are, and then you could tell us a little bit about your book. And Vince is one of our Writers in the Spirit members also. Y'all, let's welcome Vince.
First of all, let me. First of all, let me say that what an honor it is to be on your program, Grandma Polly. I really admire
Thank you,
what
Vince.
you're doing for your community. My name's Vince Morrow, and I'm a member of the WITS writing group. And I've been working with them for the last 2 years and put out my first book called American Promise, Growing Up to Be an Engineer in the 50s and 60s. And, and it's a warm, engaging, poignant story about growing up in the 50s and 60s in a deteriorating Rust Belt city, Syracuse, New York, actually. It's about overcoming adversity in the social and educational ecosystem that existed at that time that enabled me to achieve my dream of becoming an engineer. And it asks a very interesting question, I think. Would a young man, probably a very poor young man, growing up in my house today, have the same breaks I had 60 years ago? The 50s weren't particularly well known for having a big social net. So as I grow up, it takes you through my childhood all the way to graduating from college. And it recounts every little break I had along the way and how I bootstrapped myself up a little bit at a time from job to job to job. And it asks the question, and at the end, I go through all the breaks I had and I answer whether a kid today would get the same breaks I had. But to find the answer, you got to read the book.
Oh.
So it's really it's a lovely story about the 50s and 60s. If you grew up in that time period, it's loaded with lovely little lyrical anecdotes like knocking chestnuts out of a chestnut tree and my first dance in junior high school. And that warm, poignant story is wrapped around the bigger social story about educational and social inheritance. When we move on from a neighborhood, what happens to the house we lived in? What happens to the neighborhood we lived in? Are the kids living there? Are they going to get the same breaks we got? Are we handing down the promise of America to the old neighborhoods we left? Okay. And I think it's got an interesting point in the book.
It really do. I mean, it really does. And you speak about the 50s and the 60s. I'm a 60s baby, but from just going through your book and hearing you talk about it during the time we were in WITS when you got your opportunity to present it. Yes, somebody like me or somebody a little older than me may gravitate towards it. But I also think that it's a great story for our younger people to read so that they could get the understanding of some of the things that was going on back there. And I'm gonna leave that right there because see, you said they have to read the book in order to get the answer
Yeah.
and the difference of then and now. But for real, it is an awesome story. Vince, you did an awesome job. You put it together really, really, really well. And I'm really impressed with it. I'm really impressed with it.
Thank you, Grandma Polly. I
It's
think
a
there,
great story. Go ahead.
I think there's three different sets of people that would like the book. First of all, it'd be the older people like me that grew up in that time period. Secondly, their
Mm-hmm.
children, the children of the older people. See, we were affected, my generation, the baby boomers, we were affected sometimes in an adverse way by the people of the Depression, my parents. And they were really messed up psychologically from the Depression. And they handed a lot of that down to my generation. Okay. And so one young man that reviewed the book said, "Hey, I can now understand my baby boomer parents. I can understand
Mm-hmm.
where they're coming from because I understand from reading Vince's book what it was like growing up with Depression era parents." Okay. Plus, like you pointed out, it's a great book for a young man on his way up or a young woman on their way up that are struggling in their teenage years from job to job to job that doesn't know whether they're going to make it or not. I think it's instructive and I think it's inspirational, and those people would like it. And also, since it's about engineering, anybody who might want to have a technical job, and today you got to have a technical job, uh, this is a great story about that also. So I think it appeals to multiple generations and multiple audiences.
And it's funny you said that. And I was listening to you very careful. And even though, you mentioned the baby boomers and the effects that it had on the generation behind it, I find it funny, peculiar, haha. Um, every generation blames the one before.
My kids blame me, that's for sure.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
generation
I'll
blames
do
the
it.
one before. And, each generation had their own demons, had their own issues, their own problems, but it's a great read. And could you tell us how we can get this book? I have mine, but if someone wanted to get this book, tell us how can they get it, Vince?
Well, there's two things you can do. You could go to Amazon directly and buy it there. Or if you want
Mm-hmm.
to preview the book, and it's got wonderful artwork in it,
Yes,
you
it
can go to
does.
Vince Book. It's go to my website, which is vincebook.com. And there are links there to Amazon, or you could order it directly from me. Okay. And also
Okay.
get some
And
previews of
go
the
ahead.
book.
And the artwork, well, Kenny has the cover up there also, but the artwork that is on this book, and I'm going to tell them that part, Vince, once we go into Now Vince is giving away 2 books tonight, but not one person is getting 2 books. What we're gonna do with this is, Kenny, y'all gonna have to monitor this one real close. I need everybody to put just the number their age is, just a number. If you're 55, put 55 in there. If you're 56, put 56 in there. Whatever your age is, just put it in there, and then I'm going to tell you how you're going to win this book. But that's what we need right now. But Vince's daughter did all the artwork to the cover of the book and the artwork that's on the inside, and she's a part of Writers in the Spirit also. And she did deep research to make this cover look like what Vince was dealing with back during the 50s and 60s. Now, has everyone put their ages in there?
We got
Are
about
they
four.
still typing, Kenny?
Yeah, we got
They
about
all
four right
done?
now. We got about four right now.
Okay. Give me the oldest and the youngest.
Latanya Myers and Lou Esther Sims.
Lester
Latanya Smith
Well,
Wayne.
covers.
Wayne Cooper. Wayne Cooper put his in now.
Wayne, you and Tanya, no.
They already have the book.
Now, who are the other two, Kenny?
Lou Esther Sims, the oldest, and the youngest. Exit minus those two are Jackie Singleton.
Jackie done win one time tonight, too.
Did she?
Yeah, Jackie won the $5 gift card for
Oh,
Carla.
okay.
So nobody else answered.
We got Lou Esther Sims and Felicia Simone.
Oh, Felicia, come on now.
I'm going to put my name
uh,
in.
uh,
Cheryl Anderson Haynes.
wait a minute, you said Jackie Singleton won a book. No, Lester Sims won a book. So it'll be Lou Esther and Cheryl.
And Cheryl. Yep.
Yeah, y'all remember that. Y'all got Vince's book. I hope somebody's recording this because I'm not. Put in there congratulations winner or something because I'm not keeping up with this right now. But anyway, Vince, I'm going to give you your final, a chance to put your final words out there. And I just appreciate you from the Wits group, and I appreciate you even more coming on tonight, sharing your story.
I really appreciate being here. And like I said in the beginning, uh, I'm very honored to be here. And I really respect the work you're doing with your community. And part of my book is about community. It's really about the way the community came together, like the local mothers clubs in the neighborhood came together to put on dances or sponsor the Boy Scouts. I think that to develop a sense of community where you look out for the kids as they grow up and the teenagers as you grow up, that's one of the conclusions of my book. And I really admire what you're doing, Grandma Polly. I really do.
I appreciate you. I appreciate all the support that we get from Wits and our Wits team. And I'm just happy to have you guys on here tonight because a lot of times people see my work, but there are so many of us who are working together, creating things, and I appreciate that. And I just hope you have a happy holiday season, and I thank you for being a part of our family.
Well, an early Merry Christmas to you guys.
Yes, same to you. And now that we have that taken care of, we have one other person, and she's last, but she's not least. Y'all help us welcome Tanja McNair. Tanja just finished her book, and she's done her first launch. And we're going to get Tanja in here where Tanja could tell a little bit of her story. Welcome, Tanja. You guys help us Welcome, Tanja McNair. Tanja is a part of our WITS family, and I'm glad to have you here tonight. Tanja, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your book.
Okay. My name is Tanja McNair, and I'm the author of Evolve to Vitality. I'm also a creative artist, and I'm the owner of Beyond the Veil Life Coaching. I'm super happy to be here tonight. I appreciate you having me here, Renee. And
We're super happy to have you.
Grandma Polly. And yeah, this is exciting. I appreciate even listening to the previous Vince talk about his book and community. And I think that Evolve to Vitality is a book that can help us in an individual way to kind of do our own checks and balances mentally, emotionally, and spiritually so that we can show up in community our best selves. It does take some courage, I feel, because it talks about it encourages us to go to our own mirror of examination. So that's Evolve to Vitality.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, if someone wanted to purchase your book, how can they do that?
So if someone wanted to purchase the book, they would go to beyondtheveil.com, beyondtheveilcoach.com.
Okay,
That's
okay.
that's
All right.
beyondtheveilcoach.com. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, we got it. Now
Okay.
I'm gonna put you on the spot because you're the last one to come on, so you got a few extra minutes.
Okay.
There was one piece you read in the Wits group, the very first piece you read to us. Do you mind sharing that?
I don't. But do you remember the name of it? I don't remember the name of that
It was
piece.
page 63, I think you said.
Thank you. Okay. So that's called Some Things Are Cultural.
Yes.
All right. So the way this book works is there are something called script tips. And so it gives you scripture and then it goes into the writing piece. So the script tip takes place from 1 Peter 2:9. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, his own special people, that you may proclaim the praise of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Never go off of appearances. Things are not always what they seem. No matter what it looks like, we can all improve. Human nature exhibits a desire to be met where we each are at any given time. Let's face it, the best song you ever heard was the one that hit you exactly where you were at the time. The best meal you had satisfied your taste, texture, and smell profile. The best use of your time was the subject matter that always seemed to go way too fast. You never seem to get enough of it. Some things are cultural, but I also know that none of us had a say in the culture we were born into. It is easy to follow suit after someone else has done the thing. However, being the initiator embodies courage, nerve, and leadership, daring to be the first, doing all that must be authentic because you are you and the best version of yourself. No real thought of the fact that being the best version of you makes a world of difference and a different world. We may differ in the way we each do things, and that's okay. On the other hand, we each have a responsibility to nurture and to own a healthy mindset, self esteem, self worth, self identity, honesty, courage, empathy, kindness, faith, gratitude, and goodwill. Raise your standards. Your self worth is yours to cultivate, no matter what culture you come from. Who are you? Is it resentment, unforgiveness, selfishness, pride, offense, and opinionated about everything and nothing at all? These culprits impregnate the emotions, thought life, mood, and attitudes, giving birth to anxiety, distress, fear, and dis-ease. Did you know the one who becomes a giant in his culture fosters a champion's mentality and attitude of heart, mind, spirit, and soul? The fruit offered from the champion's tree is sacrifice of hatred, prejudice, and indifference. While embracing love, care, and concern, the cultured one embraces the rule to love your neighbor as you love yourself, with the golden rule as the foundation. Now, I would not want to be who would not want to be a part of this culture?
Girl, 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 girl. You had me mesmerized.
Praise God.
Just sitting there listening to it because it's so deep and I love the cadence to it. And I think I told you that before. I just love the cadence that comes along with that, the rhyme and the rhythm. And it's just awesome. But we're gonna touch on I'm gonna go back because I'm gonna take you back into wits because you and Vince, I think, were the two newest ones here tonight. And that's one of the things I'm telling people. You want to write books, find you a writers group. Find you an organization that you could be a part of that will help hone your skills. So Tanya, tell us a little bit how you got started with this.
So I was introduced actually to WITS through Grandma Polly, actually introduced me to WITS. And I knew she had written a book herself or books. And so she's my sister-in-law. And so it occurred to me, I'm going to my sister-in-law and ask her. And she invited me um, into the group and really helped to push me forward in finishing the book. So that is how I got started. And then being a part of the WITS group, I've learned so much. And I appreciate all the encouragement, all the support that the group has given, the advice, and just learning a lot. I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning.
Yes, yeah, it's a constant cycle. We're always learning. And
Mhm.
I asked that question wrong because I'm gonna come back to it. When I said started with this, I was thinking about the ideas of your books and how those thoughts came together and how you were able. I asked it wrong, but we're going back to it. How
Okay,
how
so
did you come to that point?
So this particular book derived from I was going through a real big transition in my life that caused me to leave my familiar surroundings, the place where I had my businesses, my roots, and I felt like I was doing real well with business. And my husband ended up getting a job opportunity that brought us to the Florida area, and I didn't see that coming, and it threw me into a tailspin mentally, emotionally, and otherwise. And that's how this book
Hmm.
derived.
And sometimes, especially when it came, with COVID and everything that we have dealt with in these last couple of years, it's
Yes.
like COVID was a pivoting moment for so many people.
Mhm.
It has changed a whole lot for a whole lot of people. And sometimes people are afraid to pivot, or people are afraid of that change that has come, or they know that's about to come. Because in reality, we as people, it's normal to fear the things that we don't know.
Correct.
And sometimes we have to step out on those things and say, okay, I see the fear there, but I'm going to move forward in caution, but I'm still going to follow through with whatever it is that was put on me to do. Because I think when
Exactly.
these things happen, it creates those things that we're supposed to be doing. It forces us in that direction, if it makes
Exactly.
sense.
It does. Exactly. And I think that when we get familiar with our day-to-day routines, we get familiar with our own plans. But when God calls us to do something, just like he told Abraham to go, and he didn't even tell Abraham where he was going, but he just said go. And Abraham went. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe that in all of our lives, when we're living our lives purposefully, there are going to be some times where the things of God require flexibility. And we will be tested on how flexible we are or not on this life's journey. And God is not surprised about anything that has happened or anything that will happen. It's us that gets surprised and gets thrown off kilter when it goes against what we thought something was going to be. And then it turns out to be something different. But here's the cool thing: if I never came to Florida, I wouldn't have that book right there. So I thank God for that. And I thank God for this side of things now. And I thank God for the process. And so I thank God for
Mm-hmm.
renewed mind.
Yeah, and it's all pivoting moments, you know. We have to pivot with whatever it is that we're going through at the time. And
Yes.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to, we're going to give away your book, and then we're going to come in and let you give your final words. Tanya, Wayne Cooper, Felicia, Carol Brown, y'all listen. Y'all can win. What is the name of the dog in the BRK book series? Does anybody know that? Tanja, while they're doing that, I'm going to let you, wrap it up with your final thought. 2 minutes.
So my final thoughts are, I thought about how most of us will go to the doctor at least annually for our
Mm-hmm.
checkup. I feel that Evolve to Vitality is the type of reading that anybody can do some mental checkup, some spiritual checkup, and even some physical checkup. It's that kind of book.
Okay.
And with, just being concerned about our own individual mental health, spiritual health, and well-being, it's a great asset to anybody's life. Anyone. I believe that. And so it will help us with inner balance and inner peace.
Okay. I love that concept, and you guys just made my night. To have our Wits family here
Amen.
because we share so much and we experience so much together in our writings.
Yeah.
And I just wanted people to know that, hey, we are who we are. And there are other groups out there. If this one ain't the one for you, just find one, because we have to uplift each other. We have to build
Yes.
each other up. And
Yes.
when I joined the group 6 years ago, it was just awesome. And I tell Wayne Cooper I ain't going nowhere. They can't run me out. I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere because Wayne. We have to shout out Wayne. Wayne is the whole backbone of this thing because he started it, and he started it with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just such an awesome guy. And if it had not been for Wayne, who knows? I probably would have learned
Mm-hmm.
it somewhere else. But then just having him, Wayne Cooper, you are awesome. And we take our hat off to you because you're real. And we appreciate you, and we shout you out. And you're just an awesome guy. Had anybody answer that question, Kenny?
Uh, nope.
Nobody knows the name of the dog.
I do.
Ah, see, you right there.
I'm just saying. Tanja knows.
I do.
You saying, oh God, you should know too, Tanja. I may have to come up with another question. I'll give y'all. Okay, Carol. I'm gonna give y'all example. I'm gonna give y'all what they call it. Not an example, a clue. This dog name. The
I
clue
want a new
is.
drug. One that won't go to my head. Who's that group? Who's
Ah,
that group that
scared
sings
me.
that song? Come on, guys. I want a new
What's
drug.
the
Who
song?
sings that? Come on.
What's the song?
Anybody could
I
answer this
want a
one.
new drug
Oh,
from the 80s. Come on. That's the dog's name. Come on. Come on, guys. He
It
seen
was
Gray
the
Parker
name of
Jr.
a
for,
famous. Okay, go ahead.
I was saying,
There's also the last name of a famous football quarterback.
give it up for Wayne.
That
Give it up for Wayne, ladies and gentlemen. Give it
Wayne
up for
got
Wayne.
it.
Newton. Newton.
He deserves it.
Carol,
He deserves it.
Carol, I even gave you a chance, Carol, and you didn't jump on that one. You be perpetrating. I thought you was Carolina's one of Carolina NFL teams number one fans. She probably laughing. So Wayne, you got it. I just appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. Tanya, thank you for being here. I thank the
Thank
whole
you.
Wits family for showing up tonight. Well, not the whole family, but you know what I mean. Everybody
Yeah.
here tonight was a part of it. And I want
Yeah.
to thank our sponsors again, Simone Enterprise and Entertainment Company, KJ Multimedia Solution, TNT Real Estate, and my final closing is please remember your small businesses during this holiday. Order a book. Put a book in your child's hand. Our small businesses, we need y'all support because
Thank
without y'all, we won't make it. And with all those things, y'all give my Wits family another big hand. And we appreciate y'all. And we will see you next week. We will see you all next week. Have a great evening. Enjoy and peace out. We love
you.
y'all.
Amen.
I just